day. Fuck with me. Hope everybody's doing well. Hey there, Tony. How you doing? Me, I'm just, you know, living in this world. Just like I said, you can live in the world. You don't have to be a part of it. Boy, is he right. People out here losing their mind. People out here don't even know how to think for themselves anymore. It's quite devastating. Oh, I got to get over to stereo. I see somebody there all by themselves. Oh, thanks. You're the best. It's been a day. And then with the natural weather that's been going on, it's just been like just so uncomfortable. It's just damn near feels like it's not even real weather. Something about it just seems not natural. You can't explain it. It just doesn't feel natural. You know, I know some people know what I'm talking about, but it doesn't. So I mean, hey, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Anywho, hadn't been on here in a minute. I was supposed to take care of something. I said, oh, let me just stop off by Haps and see how everybody was doing and check in and say hello. Throw some positive vibes because God knows we need it. We need it so badly. No one's really stepped back to consider that all this going on that could weigh on somebody's mental health, emotions and all that stuff because we are human and it can only take so much. So we have to remind ourselves or remind each other to do that for one another since they're not going to do it. So, but that's very important though because you got to be, you know, able to get your head around what's going on. So don't forget also that fear, stress, all that too can weaken your immune system. So that being said, it'd be freaking senseless to walk around here angry and screaming at people for whatever reason. If you're trying to stay healthy, then wouldn't that mean actually being healthy? I guess health went out the window. Like what happened to like staying healthy? What happened to like doing stuff to stay healthy? I was like, wasn't anybody gonna talk about that? Yeah. No, yeah, something ain't right. Anywho, so, but I get it since they did take critical thinking out, you know, of the school the doctrination. I mean, education. My bad. Literally. I mean, who does that type of shit? Took out critical thinking. Like, motherfucker, you have to learn critical thinking? Or did you just like punk us and fool us, making us think that we had to actually be taught that shit? First, you take it out, and then that would say that we had to be taught critical thinking. I guess it is a skill when you think about it. Like when you really think about it, because it is something to. But at the same time, I think we naturally have those sense. You know how like in nature, like animals have this keen like sense to them to like to they know how to adapt in their environment. They have a way of dealing with things the way that they do with their natural senses and all that stuff. Kind of like our bodies, like as human beings, like our bodies were designed to naturally take care of themselves. When you take care of it and when you don't, and you put unhealthy things in it, that's when the problems come. Because I don't think God made any mistakes when He created, or whatever you want to call it, created the body. It's kind of like how, like, say for instance, a lizard. Tail comes off. Oh, he grew another one. Get a cut on the finger. Oops. Cut healed itself. Yeah, 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 yeah. And then when you're exposed to like so many different types of germs and stuff too, your body, the white T cells, all that shit, they build up like a resistance or whatever. And then at some point your body kind of needs it to be exposed to the germs and all that stuff too. Because you wipe it completely out, I think it might weaken the immune system. See what I'm saying? That's why he knew what he was doing. That but that's like with anything. Once you start to destroy and put things into something that's not supposed to be, then it affects it. It's kind of like nature. You start doing unnatural shit to nature, and then shit starts happening. Shit ain't right, But I tell you this much: I appreciate Mother Nature because she allows us to breathe, like fresh air, oxygen, all that stuff. The trees play a part in that. Shit like that people destroy. We literally wipe our asses with the trees. That's just wrong. Anything living, use it, right? So, that being said, don't take care of Mother Nature. She's not going to take care of you. Or she's just going to tell you how she feels. And I wouldn't want to be messing around with Mother Nature because, whoosh, jeez Louise, see what can happen. Or when somebody messes with Mother Nature and then Mother Nature messes with that somebody, it's crazy because they was acting like Mother Nature. I know it's like a movie I was watching. It did that. But hey, what are you gonna do? Gifts. Yeah, so I'm working on this story. I haven't really told anybody, because I mean, who cares what the fuck Brandy's thinking about? Oopsie, said the F word. I had to get one out today. You're welcome. So, yeah, so I just sometimes just don't even tell anybody anything because personally I don't think anybody cares um about my genius mind. Yep. So the story is called Gifts. It's a series of stories, and I kind of racked my brain trying to figure out what should I call it. I get stuck on title a lot because I feel like the title have like meaning, like when you hear it or you read it, but like it really impacts you like by the end of the story or movie or whatever, and you're like, oh shit. hmm So through all that, I was like, okay, no, I don't like that one. I don't like that one. I don't know about that one. And then, as I didn't even really think about it too much, gifts came to me for a lot of reasons, probably because gifts. Actually, I think personally, um, something that could be in a good way or in a I don't think it's a bad way, but I mean a gift's a gift. Doesn't always mean you're gonna like your gift, you know what I mean? But it's still a gift. But the biggest gift that we have, the biggest gift that everybody should know what it is, and that it's the best gift anybody could ever be given. I'll wait. Well, if you woke up this morning, there you have it. Nobody can top that. Man can't do that. That's for damn sure. You're not. That's not what they're doing. You know, trust. But they be trying. Oof. Yeah, they be trying. But God said, But He gives us a gift every day. I think I see a lot of people that like take life for granted. And I think for the most part, like since this whole, what's been going on, it was kind of we need to sit back and take inventory. I think a lot of us, plenty of us, probably realize those things in life that we take for granted, you know, people, maybe how you treat people, or how you handle certain people, because people have a tendency to treat people like shit that are good to them or that are kind to them. It's like I used to think, like, why is it that people tend to mesh towards people that treat them horribly? Like, say for instance, I'll give you an example. I'm not saying all, but a lot. Men. Remember, I said, didn't say all. Okay? But I used to think, like, didn't you say she was horrible? Or didn't, just allbad.com? But yet, you shit on a person that actually truly gives a crap about you and accepts you for you. That's just one example. I mean, people do that in general. I mean, if you really want to look at the big picture, us as people, we do it way too often. It's kind of like why we're in the situation we're in right now. All that complying, doing your due diligence, but with no sense of boundaries or like where's your red line at? Your red flag, like, okay, this isn't, I'm not okay with this. It's more like, no, I'm gonna do it because I'm supposed to. Yeah, I didn't read that anywhere. No, not at all. Not at all. People are so that they don't even realize when they are being disrespected or have disrespected themselves. When you realize, or if you don't realize, or I don't even know, that certain things give off the sense that you're telling somebody that you belong to them. You're not nobody's property. So therefore, that's all that needs to really be said right there. So when you act that way, then you're just basically saying, yes, I'm your property. What do you want me to do with myself? That's what the shit sounds like to me. Okay, so that's all I'm saying. Just cut to the chase and say that you like being property. You know? I know, it makes no sense. Exactly. Exactly. Anywho, enough about common sense. Uh, but I do personally think this. I think that if you're clueless and you don't know what the hell's going on right now, I don't know what else you could be doing. Play Candy Crush. I don't know. Or if you think it's just this is just a normal day. I don't know what to tell you. Every day is another sign being given. And it's not something that you can't even do anything about. It's the people's fault that these things happen when you like, okay, okay, all right, we'll do that too. Okay. You know what I mean? So when we sit there and point fingers and blame the government and I mean the corporation, then you wonder why you're in these situations, and it's kind of like, well, because you agreed to it. looking back into history, as anybody has ever done over time, has always checked back into history and did their homework. That's what research is, and to enlighten themselves, because that's what wisdom and knowledge is. Information is not knowledge or wisdom, because information, it could be powerful, but it doesn't mean it's the correct information, you know? Yep. I guess I was getting to because you can have false information, but yet powerful information. Just depends on who it came from. So I say that to say the knowledge and wisdom, where does that just fall out the sky or something? Or people just guess their way through life. Like, this is what I think. This is what I think. I don't know. Anywho, some people, I don't know, are just okay with somebody else's narrative instead of ever challenging their own belief system. Like, why do you believe what you believe? And some people can't handle that because that means they'd have to review and second guess everything else. And that's why you get people out here acting like a damn fool when they get information or been challenged with some way that kind of doesn't fit what they've always thought they had known. And instead of dealing with it like a mature adult, they can't, because it's not easy to hear something like that, you know? And and it shows no growth, because if you're not willing to challenge your own belief system, then that would mean that you're really not willing to grow, because how can one grow just stuck in one way? And why does it become so offensive to people to, oh yeah, why does it become so offensive to people when someone shares something with you? You just get so like, I never, you know? It's fear. People buy right into it. That's what we're living in right now, a fear-based world. How sad. And some people actually know the word of God and they go to church, and yet they're still giving off those fear vibes. Were you even reading? What were you actually doing in the pew? No, really. Um, but yeah, fear is something that is like consumed, you know? And when you feed into it, you give life, you give power to it. When you speak up and speak on certain things, this stuff is so intense right now because that's all people are talking about. You must understand what energy is. First of all, common sense would tell me, but I get it. Not everybody thinks like me. If we are creative energy, because we are, you're welcome. Now you can stop trying to figure out if telekinesis is real or not. Yes. And we too can also, I mean, think brain, that's how we're walking and all that stuff, because the communication between our brain and then the rest of our body, and that quick, talking, walking, and moving and all that. But energy, just like our emotions and all that stuff, that's like energy. And so when people say I could feel the energy, or feel the energy, because it's freaking real. I mean, we're basically energy, but it's side of the shell, our body, temple. Check this out: energy cannot be created nor destroyed. Hmm. Yep, yep, yep. So therefore, it's got to reach your full potential. You're welcome. They were never going to tell you. Everybody just beats around the bush. It's called pineal gland. Yes, you might want to research that. I mean, all over this time with all the distractions and life, everything that we've done or we do is all just been a distraction to keep people from truly becoming and knowing themselves and how powerful one is. This right here in your head is more than just something that just sits in there and you just think, like, just there. I mean, have you ever just sat there and just thought about, dude, that heart beats it's like right in here, right in here. Like, trip out because so consumed as matrix, like everything's moving, you gotta go to work, you gotta do this, you gotta get that, but you never take the time out to actually admire or I mean shit. I'm just tripped out that people have babies. Like that's right there should show you that there's more to this life than and there's whatever you want to call him or it. I don't know. These days everybody's just working so overtime to discredit God, but it'll be at man's and CNN's feet as if they were gods. That shit is crazy to me. But okay, whatever helps you not get to where you need to be. So yeah, we should get in touch with ourselves more. When we say we're going to know ourselves, it's more than just know yourself. Like, what's that even truly mean? If you're getting to know yourself, I don't think people even really know what that means. I know for me, it means, let me see, let me get to know what's in my head. No, like literally, like this thing inside my cranium. How's that work? Shit like that. Hey, how you doing? Just over here doing some little talking, dropping some dimes off and stuff like that. Just no, okay, drop some seeds off here and there, a little sprinkle, ding, ding, ding. But no, seriously though, I think that with everything that's going on, people are just really trying to figure stuff out, and they can't stop watching. The I'm trying to find a better word, like, because I don't know what is news. Like, can you call it truth? Can't call it truth. So I guess they can't stop watching that, because that's what they get all their information from. But mm, it's like we were conditioned not to even consider trusting in ourselves, kind of like our own common sense or thinking. It's all about somebody else doing your thinking for you. Like, did you check your resources? Did you this? Did you that? It's like, dude, you think that's the easy way to be manipulated? You don't stand for something, you will fall for anything, because you only go off the fact that if somebody with that expertise didn't tell you that, and it's like, dude, just because somebody is in a field or whatever, I don't care if you're a pastor or a doctor or anything, it doesn't mean you're a good person. That's common sense. This is no superhero shit. You don't put on a uniform and all of a sudden you're just this great person. That would be called morals and integrity. And not everybody has them. So therefore, bad, you know, bad people come in all colors, sizes, uniforms, and all. Your uniform doesn't make you. So therefore, next. Yeah, when I hear people say that, it's like, you said you wouldn't wear it for school? Yeah, that's what I be thinking. I'm not even lying. Because you can't help but laugh because like that type of stuff is in our faces every day. Like a person, people really are still in that mindset when you're judging people for how they look or what they do versus the character of a person, you know? And it's even, but what's scarier is that we have our youth, our children, And that's what we need to really be focused on, our families, definitely our children, because if we don't get it right, you know, then what are they going to do? So at this point, we don't even have any space or time or opportunity to sit here and screw this up because we don't want to hold on to pride and ego or just plain stupidity or ignorance. You should be fighting tooth and nail to shake it off or whatever it is that's got you in a trance or, not realizing that we need to be doing everything we could possibly ever be doing to protect our children. And if you're not, your focus is not there, all of this would be for nothing if we fail our children. So then what? Let that be the drive within you. Don't let somebody's skin color be that drives you. Don't let somebody's health choice, what they decided to do, be what drives you. Let the future, the now, and the future be what you are focused on, because it's up to us to get our children to where we need them to be. So that means to also stop thinking that somebody else can educate your child better than you can. That don't even make sense to me. I worked in the education system. Let me tell you, isn't that great going on in there that you can't freaking do? They're actually missing out on some stuff that I think a lot of parents should be concerned about. If you don't know what a common core is, well, you better commonly look it up and figure out what it is. Because that means you every day you allow somebody else to tell you how your child education is, or what they know or what they don't know. That's crazy to me. Because not everybody's gonna have their best interest or even do it right. People mess up. Some people aren't officially, and a lot of times that still just comes down to integrity and morals too. I watched it up close and personal. Some people just don't care. These are facts. Teacher don't equal great. you you know what I mean? It's still a person, and if you don't know that person, okay, you should be able to pop up on them. I was like, okay, all my son's teachers, it didn't matter what they ever thought, we was gonna be friends regardless. They didn't have a choice. They didn't have a choice. I mean, granted, I am a lovely person, so it wasn't hard for them. I do get it, but they didn't have a choice. They shouldn't have a choice. You don't need to be acting like a teacher knows more about your child than you, okay? Because people will play on that. Remember, they work for somebody too. Trust me, I know. I know. So on that note, do your homework because it's a lot deeper than just what people think. And that's why it's so important to educate ourselves. It's not about just surviving in the economy, you know, even though that's what they make it seem like. Live to work, huh? I don't think so. We don't live to work. We work to live. And that's starting to get a little eek. People can't even think straight or try to even be happy or do something for themselves. Damned if do they do that, because you need to work and get back to this country and do this, do that. Who the fuck made anybody, like, we were born into this world, like, and most by, like, technically we didn't have a choice, so we're born into this world, this planet. And you telling me to reside on this planet, I gotta take this and I gotta do that. What's the other option? You know what I mean? You were born onto this planet, so therefore, you would think that would come with certain, you know. So what's the alternative? So come on now, we have to think better than that. Born into this world to what? You gotta pay bills. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. You gotta. I mean, come on. And with minimum help, and people get into the mind frame to actually think that way, to not help people, and that people got themselves there and they got to get it, you know what I mean, like, been warped. You know what I mean? And some people that think like that be the main people that call themselves like a Christian or a child of God. And then if that's the case, then you know he's all about love, all about helping, and never letting his people not just do without and looking down on. So if that's the case, then I think you might want to brush up or turn it this way, right side up and read it. Yeah. I'm not like religious, you know what I mean? I don't even really connect religion wise. Like that never just settled. I just never took to that. I started going to church when I was younger. We went to a Baptist church, then we stopped. We just stopped. But always like, believing God. And then as I got a little older, I started going back, got baptized second round. My son, and my son, I mean, my son can quote you many of scriptures out of the Bible. He was became Seventh-day Adventist. He was a Pathfinder, and then he went to no, that Pathfinder was second, and then the first one was I forget, but got all his badges and everything, and they always were doing, and these were like all the churches across the world, going to their camps and just doing things that keep the kids very involved. Uh, Learning nature, how to, doing community work, learn how to survive in nature, you know, just so much. I'm actually have this little thing I put together of all his accomplishments and stuff. But yeah, used to do Bible quizzes, actual like quizzes, tournaments or whatever. Um, but but still, yet I still was never like religious, because religious to me, and now even more so, it's more like about control. It's more, how like people, they don't want to talk about politics, they don't talk about religion, but yet they're together, and it makes you wonder, well, why not? Why do you need to argue? But some people don't even know what it is that they're arguing about, because they're misconceived, they've been misconceived. um they put God and religion together, or God and church, or religion and church, and on actuality, and maybe through an experience, that's why they have this resistance to God or the church. I don't know. But from someone that grew up going to church, what I can say is that I can totally understand why people would get a little backed off or a little discouraged when it comes to church, because first of all, just because you go to church don't make you no angel, don't make you perfect. I mean, hell, Satan was God's first angel. His name was Lucifer. You know what I mean? He go to church too. He could quote the Bible too. So let's get that out the way and understand that you can't go off of that just because of people. But I can get it when you go to a church and they don't seem too welcoming, or just something. I can get that, because sometimes you know people can act like that, like they're better than, or whatever the vibe is. Trust me, I get it. Not saying that that is a good reason, but I just see it should be more of an effort from the church members and the congregation and all that stuff. But your relationship with God is separate. I mean, even in the word it says, He says, your religion, not even your religion will save you. Hmm. Said if you love Him, if you love me, then you'll keep my commandments. So what does that tell you? He said, not even your religion will save you. So therefore, because think about it, how different religions, they seem to have this click up thing. I don't know. And it's their way, what they say. And some things just come off not authentic, and I'm more centered around my relationship with God. That's what that's about. So I never was like all religious. I never ever even said I was a Christian, because to this day I don't know what that pertains to. I can only be honest, and God knows my heart. and He knows where He will lead me and put into my heart. But I'm not one to just follow the masses just because this is what we're doing. So, oh yeah, I'm Christian because this is where I am, and this is what we do because we're Christian. I can't say that because that's like somebody just saying things just because that's what everybody wants to hear or everybody else is saying it. And to me, if you're in the church and if you never even explained to anybody what that really mean is, you think that that's a little strange. You know, a lot of things are a little strange when it comes to all of this. But if you're not privy to it and you just go about your day, you know, living this world, and that's all it is for you, then I don't know. I don't know. You understand how one could say they experienced life if all it ever surrounded around was everything that man created, you know, peace and, being able to connect with that higher being within this chaotic world is very much attainable. It doesn't have to be a time when you're going to have this peace. You can have that whenever you want. If it wasn't for that, this would be a hard life, for me at least. But since I'm able to obtain that and use that and go there when I'm feeling, even when I'm not feeling overweight, when I'm having an okay day, um, but when I'm not, you know, that's where I go, you know, 'cause people are complicated. People aren't always there or there for you even when they say that they are. People realize that when people are usually there for you the way that they want to be there for you or they can be there for you. That's what that means. It's never really anybody trying to be there for a person the way that that person specifically acquires, because some people take that as like, some people take it as like, you should, if this is the way I show this, I'm being there for you, you should accept it. You just want what you want. And this weird freaking, what is that? I don't know what that is, but there must be a behavior or something that's been taught because I don't get it. What if somebody requires a way to be dealt with? You know what I mean? Let me give you a better example because I know some people will, um, and do this before this dies. So, say for instance, say you have say there's somebody that, a friend that she just, I'll keep it real simple, like needs somebody to talk to, just to maybe say some things to, or just somebody to talk to, you know, and maybe that person feels safe with you, and which is a good thing that people want to talk, because then we'll turn around on the flip side and say, oh, people have mental health and we need to start being there for this, like, but yeah. So maybe we should start being more kinder and more tolerant and empathetic to each other. See what I'm saying? How human beings create their own shit. Like, why is there mental health issues? There's so many levels to it, but we forget like one of the main ingredients, us as human beings. And that's why it's important to treat people a certain way and not say, I don't care what that person thinks. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Use my language. But then, so if you don't care, then don't sit over here and talk about how everybody has these mental issues when you don't care. Hmm? You're welcome. See how that works though? It makes no sense. So I go back to my original statement. I say, treat people how you want to be treated. Actually give a crap because somebody gave a crap about you. Your life. You wake up every morning, you're given a gift. In this present day, you're given a gift. So the least somebody can do is give a crap about the next person's feelings. Or when you see somebody walking down the street and they look a little down or something like that, it wouldn't kill you to, you know what I mean? Ask somebody how they're doing. But for some people, it seems like, I don't care. I would love for the people to have that same energy when they're in a situation where they need somebody to care. Keep that same energy, because then you shouldn't even be expecting anybody to care because you didn't care. It's crazy, right? So that leads me back to how we create our own shit that we turn around and complain about. Like, what are we gonna do? We don't ever hold ourselves accountable for any of the things that we contribute to, and we contribute to a lot. We're insane because we put people in place to look over us that apparently do us completely wrong, and then we complain about it. I don't. I've got nothing. But I'll get back to my story so I can get off of here. Um, no, right? Just like you just when you have no words. But yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this mini example up. So yeah, so that person, just needs somebody to talk to. But for you, you don't like really like to talk, or you just feel like you don't want to because they're a person that doesn't want to do what somebody wants you to do for them because you feel like that's a problem. I don't know. It's weird. But instead, you're like you your way of doing it is probably let me see. I don't know. For example, you probably bring them their favorite uh thing they like when they're like this ice cream or something like that, right? But they just really need somebody to talk to, and that's all they need. And some people ask for so much more. They need diamonds and all kind of stuff. Some people just need friend for 15 20 minutes, and some people can't even do that. They kind of just feel like, well, this is me actually, being there for you. But it's the way they want to be there for you. And see, that's the whole thing with love. Love is selfless. So it's like it's okay to actually do for that person what that person will actually like. Doesn't mean anything different. It doesn't mean that you are being a sucker or you should take what I give you because I'm giving you. I don't know what that is, but all I know is that if you use the word selfless, then therefore that would be the opposite, you know? Because it'd be those little things that people don't want to do versus you got people out here that want more things that you can't even give them. And then you got some people that just want your time. And I know for me, I'm a person that I've never sought after somebody's money or anything that they have. That's never been my MO, not even when I was younger. I give two shits about what you have. That's your shit, it's not mine. And I've had, like my ex-husband, I've had men in my life that were very kind, like generous, and really considerate and sweet when they did things that came from a place, that I never would have to even wouldn't have asked and never would have had to ask because of that type of energy. Because I'm not there for what you have. I'm there for who you are. And then these days, all you hear is what a person got to have. You got to have this much money. You got to have this. You got to have that. It's kind of like, well, what do you got? Like, I hope you bring in like maybe double more than what you're requiring. Because if you got under that, then you need to go take several seats. Because that don't even make sense. I think that makes women look silly when they talk like that. What they require for a man to have, they don't even come close to having it. I just feel like I don't got those problems. Because at the beginning and the end of the day, people can say all day long, oh, well, money's not going to this, love's not going to, you know what? See, that's the whole thing. And yet these same people still don't have no money. And the people that do have it, they're not even happy. I'm never going to be with somebody for money. I have to be able to look at you in the morning. I want to be able to love the person that I'm with. I want to be happy. So therefore, I'm going to assure that I put myself in a situation of happiness. I'm not going to depend on anybody for happiness. that would be foolish. You know what I mean? I have to be happy with me first. You know what I mean? And at the same time, if I'm wanting happiness, then I am obviously, if I'm with somebody or pursuing somebody, I'm going to want to make them happy. My job or my goal is not to make them unhappy. I remember a while back there was this guy I was talking to, and then through texting you can't really tell how somebody sounds or anything. But then they said something to the extent of, I ruined their night. And I said, oh, okay. So, well, calmly said, I said, well, that's not my intentions. I said, that's never my intentions, is to, you know, make you upset or to ruin your night. So I'll remove myself from this situation because I don't want that energy. It didn't make me feel good. So, and I didn't want to feel like that. So I basically, it's like, okay, well, that's never what my intentions are. And so I took it that way and move it right along. So that's that. So my intentions is not to make somebody feel like shit or make feel like crap. If I'm in a relationship with somebody, why the hell am I going to get in a relationship to be a, excuse my language, a bitch, or to control somebody or try to change somebody? To me, that sounds like possible you need some counseling, or I don't know. I don't know what it is because it's not my problem. All I can do is speak for me. And I like to be happy. So therefore, I'm not just jumping around and seeking who can make me happy, you know? Because, see, if I am happy with me, that means I'm already bringing something. I'm not coming in on miserable. I'm just looking for the worst or just don't even like myself. What do you think that's going to bring into a relationship? You know? So I don't know. And kind of takes me back to before, like, why does it seem like people are attracted to the less healthier, people or relationships, versus somebody that's kind hearted, accepts you for you, not trying to dig down in your pockets or anything like that. So I don't know. The mind is crazy. Some guys like to be treated. And I'm saying this because I knew somebody that was like that and they told me that they liked it. It's weird. Really did. And that turned me off because I was like, oh, I'm not going to treat you like, who would like somebody to treat them bad? That just kind of makes you seem kind of weak, you know? Mm-hmm. I don't know what that's about. I also believe in men being dominant. Like I know people are on this whole feminine thing, whatever. And then I had a Bible story today too. And we'll talk about this another time because then it came off as if, yeah, I don't have time to talk about it right now, but it really made me think like, so are we like supposed to be this way we are in relationships? And it was just a story of I think it was Sarah, one of the women in the Bible. I think it was Sarah and Abraham. I'll look at it again and then maybe I'll bring it up. But it was just that part there that made me think about like how we've learned that the woman and then the man is to be the head of his household and all that stuff. So and then I came across that and I was just like, so you saying that women don't? Yeah, I'll have to tell you guys again later because it kind of tripped me out. But from tradition, from what I think most of us know, is like the man is head of household, and it doesn't mean that the woman is any less. It just means that you're that strength because the rib, the rib. That's how it went. Then that's you hold it down. Your strength. You're supposed to make him push him up, not bring him down. And he protects and all that stuff. And so with me, I don't have a problem with the submissive role. Some people are ignorant and they take submissive it as you just a sucker and you just letting it. No, ignorance. I tell you, I told you this was not education that we have here. We were indoctrinated. So now you can understand why you have that cloud bubble over your head when you talk to a lot of people. It's crazy, right? But yeah, so because I'm not trying to be a dude. You know what I mean? And in a relationship, I don't want to be a dude. I don't want to be masculine. I want to be like you know, like not a dude. I want to be a girl. I want to be a woman, and I want you to be the man. You know what I mean? Did that make sense? You feel me? What I'm trying to say? Like that. I want to be like What you say? You're like, I don't know what that is. Figure it out, people. Figure it out. And if somebody says you're not, it's not ladylike, don't get offended. Probably not ladylike. Plain and simple. So then act like a lady. I truly still believe in the whole being a lady. Trust me, I'm not all proper and prim, but I do know how to conduct myself. Brandy is just Brandy. I don't have to overdo much of anything. I'm just me, and that right alone takes away any type of bullshit stress or anything. So I don't have any of that because I'm me, and me must be good enough for me, and that's how I know. I just keep 100, and that's why people will like me or not. Most people do, and if they don't, it's probably because they don't like themselves. You know, I stay me all the time. That's for sure. So that being said, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go. I just had to drop off some jewels there. Hope to help you guys out today. It's always a pleasure. And until next time, peace. I know. I tried, Tony. I tried. I tried. We over here talking my shit. Well, I'll be seeing you guys real soon. I had an idea for something, so guys, don't go to sleep on me. Peace.